And we're back to another episode of the Mike and Sully podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Sully.
And although we may be virtual, we've still got our favorite guitarist in studio here to play us our intro music. So take it away, Whale. Thanks, Whale. That was Whale, yes.
Really great job.
Great intro, as always. So thank you for that. Hopefully, our audience is enjoying the music.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's our generation's Beethoven.
Wow. I love that.
The dog, not the musician.
Yes. The very important. Who do you think would win in a fight, Beethoven or Air Bud?
Well, Beethoven's got size.
Yes.
But I think that I would put my money on the Sandlot dog.
But
honestly.
Remember, it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Oh, nice. I think Beethoven.
Okay. So what I said meant nothing to you.
If I had to keep, yeah.
That's good. But Air Bud fought off that clown guy.
And he jumps, really. And he doesn't really seem to feel pain in his nose.
Or joints.
Yeah.
He's played every sport known to man.
Yeah.
Well, that was a crazy, unnecessary tangent to hop into, right from the go. You might be wondering, if you're listening to this, why we look like we're in different rooms, why we're both looking directly at the camera instead of at each other. We are looking at each other, actually.
Yes.
But it's a snow day. Happy winter.
Woo!
Thank you, Puxatani Phil, for the 6 more weeks of winter. That's the name of the groundhog.
the groundhog. I looked it up.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually have a bone to pick with that, like the accuracy of that
Okay.
scientific study.
Sure.
Because if he pokes his head out
Yeah.
and sees his shadow, he gets
Ooh.
scared and goes back under for 6 more weeks. But if he's seen his shadow, doesn't mean it's sunny out.
That's a good
So wouldn't
logical.
that mean?
It's a logical point right there.
Yeah.
But
So I don't know.
I think you're reading too much into it.
Of course.
I think it's
It's
more
just a groundhog.
He crawls out of the hole.
Yes.
He puts his top hat on, and then
And his cane, or just the top hat?
does he have a cane?
Probably.
If he has a cane, great. And then he doesn't look up and observe the sky or the sun. He simply looks down and sees the shadow and is like, whoa, what is that? That's the scared part. He's not scared of winter coming. He's scared of
No,
just the
I
shadow.
Understand. The shadow scares him.
Oh, just the shadow.
And so he goes back under for 6 more weeks.
I'm editing that part out. Hey, you ever had someone mansplain Puxatani Phil to you?
I'll let it pass because it is your birthday.
My deepest apologies. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. And yes, happy birthday to me.
Yes.
We actually will get into the details of how the day went and how we celebrated, because you were involved. But we were gonna have, I know you guys, you little tricksters. You guys were gonna have the staff at the place we went to for lunch come over and sing happy birthday.
Wow.
But that guy slipped and fell. So.
Oh, actually, this is what I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Well, no.
Oh, the burger.
I want to talk about the burger, but I guess we should describe to the people how your day was, like what you did for your birthday.
Let's start by, just being positive and joyful that we got some viewer mail.
Oh, yes.
About my birthday.
Wow.
So thank you to our loving fans who. It was hard to keep my phone under the storage limit from the amount of birthday messages and well wishes I got.
Wow.
It was one email.
Oh.
But it was a great email. It filled me with the love and joy as if it was, because it's not how many people reach out to you, it's who reaches out to you.
Right.
And this is a longtime fan of the pod, and mother of the pod, who said, "Dear Mike, I wanted to wish you a happy birthday. Hopefully you have done some fun things this weekend to celebrate. I am having so much fun listening to your podcast. Please keep it up. Cheers to you and a year of health, happiness, and all the things that make you smile. And then best wishes, her name a second time, and then her full phone number. I like
I
how it's
love
kind of a
that.
bit that we make fun of your parents' email signatures that definitely just auto-populate.
For sure. That's really
But
fun.
thank you
Great
so much.
email.
Yes, that was very,
That's a good
very kind.
one.
It made me very, very happy to get. I did check. I did check on my birthday, so I didn't
Yeah.
get it like today when we're recording, because we are recording a couple days after my birthday. We were gonna
Yeah, I was
try.
kind of thinking that codename my cousin would have
Yes.
emailed you, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen.
Yeah. That's all right. Busy
So,
bee.
yeah.
But yeah, so we were gonna try and record on my birthday, but the day just shout out to Sully first and foremost. Actually, she deserves a lot of credit for being available on my day of birth. Very kind.
Well, shout out to my company, I guess,
And shout
for
out to
not making me go to
Roz
work.
for the same thing.
And Roz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was prepared. I hope this makes Roz happy in a later viewing of this. I hope Roz appreciates that I was ready and prepared to send a message if and when you said, "Hey, I have to go to work." I
Mm.
was gonna say, you know what? Do you still want to get lunch with us?
You would have loved that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice.
Because you know what? We don't always need the Sully connector.
That's
But no,
fun.
it was good. Sully did pull it off. The miracle act of making her schedule
It
fit
actually
in.
was kind of a miracle
Yeah.
because I kind of tricked the system. They almost sent me on a 5-day trip,
Oh, see,
and
I
I would
wasn't
have.
gonna say that. I was saying my words so delicately,
Oh,
avoiding verbs like tricked.
oh,
But you're just going for it, so
yeah.
okay.
Well,
I'll edit it.
I mean, it's fine. It's just what you're allowed to do.
I see.
So instead of going on a trip, I picked up a short haul. So it could have backfired terribly, but it didn't.
Would you have just had to
And
work more, like if it had backfired?
no, it just would have been like signing up to get a call in the middle of the night to scramble and go to China or something,
Right.
and then still not make it to your birthday. So, but that didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Nope. We made it work. It was very very exciting news. So yeah, so for the birthday celebrations, Celia and I started our day off hoping that it wouldn't snow. So that was kind of the first hope and a prayer because it has been very wintry around here. But
Hmm.
we had made the decision that we wanted to go. Well, I guess I made the decision that I wanted to go to a brewery out in a local-ish area, about half-hour drive. And so Celia and I went out there, and we broke our dry January fasting.
Nice.
So that was fun. Best beer I've ever had was that first one. Um, but yeah, so we went inside because the whole plan was get there, hang out, and we brought, as annoying as we have it actually. I have it right here. We were these people that went to a brewery and brought our own magnetic chessboard.
Nice.
And
Is that bad? Is that like
no,
cringy?
it's like reading at a bar
Oh,
where some people would think that. I don't look down on that, but I think
yeah.
some people would.
What were other people doing at the brewery? Like, what do you do?
We got there, so we got there kind of early, right? So we got there probably at like 11:30. So like it's never too early to drink a beer, but 11 is cutting it pretty close. And but we pulled in, and there were probably there was a little family, because breweries are cool in the fact that usually they're family friendly, as
I didn't
opposed
know
to
that.
bars, and they're usually more open, like
Mm.
just because. And I don't know, we could have Professor Snowflake back on for a deep
Oh yeah,
dive
because he
into.
works at one of these.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And
Oh,
he's worked at multiple, so he should really have an idea for it.
wow, yeah.
But it's like generally it's like a more communal place, so I'm sure that's just why they usually have a broader layout. But also they're usually bigger buildings because a lot of these places are brewing their own beer,
Right.
at least to some capacity. So that just
That's cool.
requires more space. So yeah, like that's why I kind of like brewer. Even if I'm not in the mood for beer, it is just nice to not have to think about like a crowded bar.
Yeah.
type of environment. And so like we knew going into it that it would be pretty easy to find a table, sit down and not be like, cuz imagine we had gone to a bar and then took out the magnetic chessboard and like
Right.
we're in this crunch space. Like this was, we had, probably like 20 feet between us and the next
Mm.
customer.
Okay.
And they were all sitting up at the bar anyway. So yeah, no, we got to sit down these really cool chairs that they had and set up, and no one really paid us any mind, and it was perfect. Bartender was
That's
really
nice.
nice. He I made a joke, like he was like, what do you want? And I was like, what would you pick for like the perfect beer to like drink for the first time in 32 days or whatever it had been. Joke about dry January.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, this one. And then we ended up getting the beers and we started a tab. And then he was like, well, enjoy, you know, celebrating your, and I thought he was going to say birthday, but
Right.
then he instead just said, enjoy celebrating drinking again. And I was like, that's not as,
That's not as
that's not as
fun.
exciting. Um, but I did get a beer for free because it was my birthday.
Nice.
He asked me
That's
how old
cool.
I was turning, and he never ID'd me. So clearly I look over 21, but not. He couldn't gauge where I was at.
Right.
I was like 27, and I couldn't read his face on whether or
Mm.
not that was a low mark or a high mark.
Yeah. It's
So
funny.
whatever. But yeah, so we played chess, which was really fun. Um, and
How many
then
games of chess did you play?
only one. It usually
Okay.
takes us probably a half hour or so,
Oh,
if not longer, to
nice.
get through one. Depending, I mean, we were talking and stuff, obviously, so it's not like we were just doing this the whole time.
Planning
Um,
out the next three moves in
yeah,
your
well,
head.
part of it, and I hope this doesn't embarrass Celia, because I don't mean it this way, but part of the chess playing was also me monitoring, like, okay, you've drank a two sips of your beer and you think you're tipsy. Like, let's make sure we get home okay.
I love that.
So that
That's
was
funny.
funny. But yeah, then we had plans to meet you guys for lunch at a restaurant, like a literally like maybe a block down the street. So that was just cool in
Like
terms
the
of the
most
spacing.
famous restaurant in my town.
Is it really?
Oh, for sure.
Okay,
It's
so
a
that makes sense.
landmark.
It was pretty poppin' on a
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for getting there and getting us a table.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, reserving
I'd
us a
have worked
table.
really hard on that.
But yeah, so we met up there with you and Roz, and if you want to now let the listeners in or viewers in
Well,
on,
actually, first off,
oh
you texted me at like maybe 15 minutes before we were supposed to eat
yeah,
or supposed to meet,
yeah,
and you said like, "Are you still coming?" Do you remember saying that to me?
yeah, because it was my birthday.
So like, why would I bail?
No, okay, everyone listening, this is what happened. It's my birthday. It is literally the
Uh-huh.
day of my birth. It's not like
Yes.
we were celebrating a day after. It was my
Yeah.
birthday.
Yeah. Which
I,
I knew.
are you wait? Sorry, you sound a little robotic.
Oh, I said I
You
knew
sound
that.
normal. You sound normal now.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Anyway, sorry. So I don't hear from Sully all day, and I not that that's a problem, but I didn't want to text her, "Hey, are we still good for 12:30?" before she got off a happy birthday message. Like that felt a little like weird in terms of order of operations.
Right. But
And
then I never texted you the happy birthday.
I know, I'm well aware because yeah, like 12:15, I texted her and I was like, "Hey, are you guys still coming?" And I
Yeah.
admitted to it in my text to you. I was like,
Mhm.
"Hey, I know, I wasn't gonna text you because I thought you would say happy birthday, but." And then Sully
But I was gonna see
covered her
you.
tracks. She said, "Well, I thought I was gonna do an in person
Yeah.
congrats."
Yeah.
So
I did have that planned. I just thought it was funny
I laughed.
that you checked in like 15 minutes before. I thought that was fun. Anyway, so I only live like 6 minutes from this place.
Right.
So I was getting in my car to go, me and Roz, and then I received a text from Mike asking if I was still going to go, which I was. And we went down there and we were walking in just like a couple minutes before you guys. And we ran into our bird seed salesman,
Yeah.
the guy at the local bird seed store, and he recognized us, and he
Right.
called us the bird. Oh, he called us the bird people. He said, "Oh, the bird people," and I said, "Okay, you're the one who works at the store, so you're the bird guy." Anyways, that was interesting. And then we got seated right away, and you guys came, and our waiter was nice. I think he was probably pretty new. Do you think he was new?
I don't know. I don't want to give him the benefit of that doubt just because he wasn't great.
He wasn't very good at all. It was actually really bad. But he did fall very hard on the floor.
He did.
He slipped so bad. But I liked he recovered pretty quick and immediately put a sign down of like
Oh, I thought the sign
caution
was already
slippery.
there.
Oh.
That's why
Well,
I. And it's the kind of
well, now I'm
fall
not
where it
sure.
was a loud impact, and like
No,
we all
he
had
was
to
a
not
small
laugh.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I almost, for a second, I thought you didn't see it because you were holding it together so well.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. No,
I was not.
I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, I was that
Like,
gal.
laughing from
Yeah.
across the.
It was
Well,
really
had he already
funny.
ruined your afternoon though?
No, but remember he kept bringing the drinks out in shifts.
Yeah, brought out
Like
one drink
there
at a
were
time for 4
what
drinks.
in like I mean like over 5 to 10 minute spacing between each drink, I feel
Celia's
like.
coffee had cooled
Yeah,
by the time it got to us.
yeah, that was crazy.
Bring out that one first.
Yeah. Well, he knew the birthday boy probably had to get
That's
his
true. I got my drink first.
pretty quick
Yeah.
ish. And then he came to take our orders, and I said, "I'll take a plain cheeseburger, please." And I specified just meat, cheese, and bun.
And I can
Plain,
attest, she
plain.
really did say that.
Yeah, and
Like
he
she
said, "Okay."
clarified that part of it.
Yeah, because I felt like he wasn't
Listening.
gonna get it.
Listening ears.
Yeah, listening ears. And then everyone else ordered, and then our food took. I mean, it took a little while, but they were pretty busy. So the food arrived, and my cheeseburger has a bunch of stuff on it, which I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just pull off all the lettuce, tomato, and scrape off the mayo and the other stuff on top of it.
Oof.
And I was like, I'll just do this, and
Yeah.
it's fine. And then I like went to go take a bite, and the bottom part was covered in pickles, like covered. And I said, "This is where I draw the line. I'm so sorry, I can't eat this." So then I had to ask him for a different cheeseburger. I said, "Oh, this was supposed to be plain." Well, you went to the bathroom actually. You played it very well.
Genius move by me here, folks.
Yeah, he didn't want to be around for this interaction. Fair, although it went really well.
I'm sure it
So
did.
he went to the bathroom
Yeah.
and said, "Please just talk to the waiter while I'm gone," which I did.
Yep.
And I just said to the waiter that, oh, this was supposed to be plain, just meat, cheese, and bun. And he said, "Oh, I thought by that you just meant like a regular cheeseburger." And I said,
That's not what
"No,
she said.
that's
not
not
what
what he
she
said.
said.
I'm so sorry, but this is horrifying and I can't eat it." And then eventually they brought me a different cheeseburger, but they brought the whole thing, like, and fries. Cheeseburger
Right.
and fries, which was crazy.
And charged us
Because I had
twice.
already, yeah, well, yeah, that was not great. Then we got the bill and he charged us twice for two cheeseburgers.
But they took it off, right?
They ended up, yeah, taking it off.
They ended up taking it off.
Anyways, it was a whole thing. It wasn't great. But I want to know what the people think. Am I in the wrong? Like, am I a problem child for asking that to be fixed?
No. But I know you want to know what the people think.
I do want to know what the people think. But, like,
It's a restaurant. You're
It's-
allowed
yeah.
to order things to order at
Yeah.
a restaurant. If this was a fast food place, I might have a different take on this. I had a very good friend who notoriously would go through like a Jack in the Box drive-through, and he would make us order for him because we were always driving to order his tacos without lettuce. We had to order fast food, so they had to remake the tacos
oh, right.
and like not add lettuce.
Yeah.
Coward.
Like,
That's
I think I know
Professor
who you're
Snowflake.
talking about. I knew it. When you said that you guys were always driving, I said, oh,
Oh,
that checks.
Go away. Yeah. So no, I think sometimes it's tough.
I did
to-
feel bad about it. But,
I think that just means you're a good person,
yeah.
but like a worse waiter
Yeah.
got in your path.
It was too bad.
And clearly you showed you were willing to eat some of the wrong order until it just got so bad.
It was so covered. It was like,
Yeah.
it was just too much.
I had
So.
some really good cod and chips.
Oh, yeah, I meant to ask, was it tasty?
Really good cod.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
The
good.
cod came out of the same body of water where a coffin was discovered.
Oh,
So that bode that boded very
Yeah.
well.
Well, if I had known, because my bird guy,
Yeah.
we walked up and he was talking to the police officers.
So you could have gotten the
I
411.
wanted to ask what was happening, but then he made a comment about like, oh, we're gonna go be at the bar, see you there, and I was like, you're not gonna see me at the bar. And then
Wait,
I
he
just
went
like,
inside?
yeah, he went to go eat with
Oh.
his,
We could have talked to him.
yeah, but at the bar,
It's not
and
like
I
the
didn't want
alcohol's gonna
to.
jump on you.
Sins all around.
Uh,
Anyways, but I wanted to ask him what the guy said
right.
because then we heard rumblings of the coffin situation and actually saw it taken from the water.
Yeah, can you detail to the audience what the coffin situation is?
There was a coffin in the water.
In the body of
I don't
water.
know if it was like, does it float or was it
No.
on the
The
ground?
coffin
It
wouldn't
was
float.
on the bottom. How would someone find it though?
That's why he was in diving equipment.
I thought it was just because it was cold because it was snowing.
No, he had scuba gear.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, someone had reported a coffin situation in the bay, and the police investigated it, and then, like an hour later, we saw them walking up this coffin.
Here's
to
why I
the
don't
parking
think it was
lot.
floating. Because it took them so dang long to get
So long.
it.
Like so long.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was definitely underwater. So
Yeah,
weird, bizarre scenario. Let's all hope for the best for whatever
Yeah.
was going on, and that we don't unleash something via the coffin.
Nosferatu.
Yeah. Yes. Wow. Excellent. Yes. We do not need a Nosferatu
Yeah.
situation on our hands.
None of that.
He gets transported in a coffin in the movie.
From the water?
On the water.
Wow,
Like he's on a
really?
boat. Yeah.
Oh, well, so this could have been him if he like was going too fast and hit a wave and like went into the water.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Anyways, that was crazy.
Yeah.
And I have no more information on it. I did not look into it in the local news, but
Probably more research we could have done.
sorry guys.
That's tough. Sorry to the audience.
Email us if you want to know more about this.
Or if you do know
situation.
more about this situation.
Yeah, if you have the information, please pass it along.
Right. It was a nice looking coffin. It was white and looked
Yeah.
somewhat expensive. I don't know how
It did
expensive
look
coffins
nice.
are.
I think they're really expensive.
It's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I didn't
Okay.
fact check that one either.
Sure.
So, anyways, and then it was snowing. It was beautiful.
It did start to snow.
And by that time, it was like, what, 2 o'clock or something that we left?
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then we all came over to our house.
Yes, the area you see in the
Ah.
background is the home. There it is.
Yeah,
Robert's dream.
and
Here's all our stuff.
yeah, messy room out there.
Yeah.
And we
So,
played a game.
that was really funny. I don't know why I agreed. It was more of those nonchalant, like, passing of time yes, not me agreeing that it truly was
Okay.
messy. I
Hurt
apologize.
and confused.
I apologize.
Stuff.
Your face.
Yeah, it's not great. Anyways, and then we came back here.
Yep.
And played the longest.
Game of Catan ever. I think it could be a Guinness World Record, honestly.
Yeah.
If you know,
We tried to talk about why it took so long,
and we know
like,
now, partially anyway. There's three key reasons.
Okay, I'm ready to hear.
Number one is the gameplay rules, like we didn't know them very well, so we had to
Right.
acclimate to the game and its rules, as
And
well
we weren't
as
playing them
we
right.
didn't follow one of them especially right.
A
in
very
terms of
important one.
total number of cards in your hand. So
Yeah.
we had some collecting going on.
Lots of collecting.
Two, honestly, just too many tariff jokes. Given the state of the
Wait, I heard that wasn't happening anymore.
Trump backed off and postponed the tariffs by 30 days, I believe, because there were some retaliatory tariffs placed on us.
I heard it was because the Canadian and Mexican troops were sent to the border to secure their own.
That was on purpose, like almost as a joint, like go USA type of. At least from what I've read, it was like Canada saying, okay, US, you don't want fentanyl getting into the US. We'll help you by sending our own troops to the border to police that. So it's like a good thing.
No, I know. But I
I've
thought
done
that
it
that's
twice now. I've done it twice. Every time you say something, I interpret it as something completely. I thought you meant that they were like preparing to attack the United States. I was like, no, you've misread.
yeah, no, never thought
I'm gonna
that.
look so our fans are gonna be livid. You're gonna have so many more fans.
Just the Sully podcast, Sully only.
Let Sully speak.
Like, no, I was gonna say that I heard that that was their response to the tariffs was like they wanted, he threatened to implement these, and then he wanted in return them to secure their own borders, and they
Oh,
said, "Oh, okay, we'll go do that."
yeah. I think that was part of the win, but I do still think it's like a pause. Like I think
Right.
they might come back. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, is your company happy in the
Now,
meantime?
yeah. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
like for now, for the next 30 days.
yeah, yeah. Now I don't know. Honestly, there's a part of me that thinks like it sucks because we have to keep waiting now
Right.
and like
Yeah.
doing like different like basically. I don't really know how much I can get into the details of the actual finances of my job, but we had to do like multiple sets of forecasts, like ones with the tariffs, ones
Oh,
without the tariffs,
wow.
that kind of stuff. So that just the longer it goes on without it being resolute is the longer we have to like keep basically preparing for two different futures,
Right.
and that
Yeah,
sucks.
that's not great.
So fortunately, I don't do any of that. But
Nice.
shout out to my teammates that do.
Shout out.
Yeah.
That is
Um,
frustrating though.
I kind of work on it. I work with our customs team from time to time,
Okay.
just to
Hmm.
flex.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, so we played. Oh, sorry. And then the third thing that made the game take too long was just kind of idle chit chat slash long trade negotiations.
The trades were too much.
Really, my own fault for most of the game. And then I annoyed the other three players so much they stopped trading with me.
That's true. That did happen.
Yeah. But it was really
That's
fun. It
funny.
was very fun. We got back. I don't think you don't know this part, but Celia and I drove home after we had finished up, and you made us some very lovely lava cakes. Thank you.
Okay, but like, what did you think of that cake?
It was good. It wasn't that dry. It
Mm.
wasn't as dry as you made it out to be.
It's good.
Yep. Sorry. Do you want more complimentary words?
Like louder?
They were very
Okay, that's
good. The
good.
lava was gooey. The
Lava
lava.
was super gooey.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, keep
But the,
going.
the the like cake mixture wasn't very dry.
That's good.
I only say
I'll
that
take it.
because Sully had claimed it would be the dry. She made
Ew.
us pour
She was
ourselves
nervous about
water.
it. Okay, that was Roz.
Oh, sorry.
He said, "You will need water for this." Okay. Okay, anyways, you drove home. I
We
was
drove
watching you the
home.
whole way, by the way.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah. Ice storm.
Yeah, we got home in when the weather was starting to turn. We stayed a little bit later than I think we expected. Again,
Mm.
because the Catan games just kept going, and originally one of our plans for the evening was we were going to swing by a place more local to where I live or where we live, and we're gonna go there. It's another brewery, but they have this huge fridge where you can make your own 6 pack of like
Whoa.
canned beers, and
That's cool.
so we were just gonna run in, I was gonna run in, make a 6 pack, and then we were gonna come back here and enjoy the rest of our Sunday evening. When we got to the establishment, they had closed.
No. Closed
Early.
early
They had
or just
closed early.
oh,
They had
okay.
closed early. They were supposed to close at 8. We got there at like 7:10 ish. I think if
Mm.
that sounds right to you, in terms of when we left. But um, there was so their open sign was off as we drove by, and there was no one in the bar except there was one person behind the bar, and so like we were kind of driving by slow and did a look, and then we did a second pass to see, and like
Yeah.
I took another look, and Celia was like, "Well, do you want to try and go in?" And I, me and my socially anxious,
Yeah. No
personality,
chance.
I was like, "No way, they are definitely
That
closed."
would ruin my birthday.
Yeah, they don't need me. I'm just so against going into establishments late, especially if I
Mm.
think they're closed. It's hard enough to go to like an Arby's an hour before they close.
Wow.
Um, I did that once and they got mad at me because they were like
An
basically
hour
already
before?
closing. Might have been a half
That feels
hour, but
okay.
still. It
Mm.
rubbed me the wrong way. My dad really wanted a roast beef sandwich. Okay, and then I had to go into this whole
Love
speech
that.
of why they couldn't let my dad down.
He needs this.
Get him the
He's the
roast
mayor of
beef.
our town.
uh, so we did not get the beers that we had
That's tough.
planned on. So then we come home, and later on in the night, Celia was kind of talking how how the day went, and on if anything didn't go as like a great according to like my idea of the day. Like she was just checking in on how I experienced my own birthday. Very, very thoughtful. And she was particularly worried about the fact that I'm a very, I'm not a planner per se. Well, I am and I'm not. Like my whole thing
Mm.
about planning is kind of volatile in terms of sometimes I'm willy-nilly, but sometimes
Yeah.
if I have an itinerary, I like to stick to it. I don't
Yeah.
always make an itinerary, but when I do, usually I like to stick to it.
We better follow it.
Yeah. So in this instance, she was just checking in and making sure I still had a good birthday.
Mm.
And I was just like, you know, I was like, I had a great birthday. Getting a 6-pack of beer is so inconsequential compared to like an extra 2 hour long Catan game, like with our friends. So it was
Oh,
just, it was, it was
yeah.
just a good moment for me to level set on, like, I could care less on that aspect of it
Nice.
later on in the night. So
Love that.
thank you for having us in your home.
It was great. We were both thrilled and honored that you celebrated your day with us and broke the Guinness Book of World Records with us on your
Right.
birthday.
We were thinking, and this might be so silly, because we only live about a half hour away from each other, but I was like, if we ever wanted to play Catan specifically, but not have to meet up, I was like, what if we hopped on one of these and then just tilted the camera down? Because we have our own board.
Yeah.
So we could set it up the exact same way and then
And
just
just
like
do the
do
same
it for
moves
each
almost
other. Yeah.
Okay, like I feel like we should just do that for fun. Just try it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Like that's really fun.
I was explaining this to I like had this thought process with Celia, and then at the very end of it I was like, but I don't know, we live a half hour away, like maybe that's really dumb, like,
I think that's fun.
but I think it could be fun.
Yeah.
So TBD, we could do a podcast episode where we just play Catan.
Nice. Longest pod ever.
It would take forever.
That's fun. I like that idea.
Yeah. So
It's nice.
that was pretty much the gist of my my big day.
Good day.
It was a good day.
Yeah. Nothing to add here. I think after you guys left, we literally I don't think we did anything. Just
It was a
mellow.
Sunday, so it's really hard to like once you do stuff in the middle of the day. I feel like, are you clicking something?
I'm so sorry. I was, and I noticed that it was a problem. I'm so sorry.
It's like my pen clicking.
Okay. Yeah, I think that it was because it was like snowy and really cold, and I was like, I'm not gonna go to the gym or something.
Right.
I'm not gonna leave the house.
Yeah.
So I'm actually just
Crazy
hanging out. And
time.
I had the lava cake in my belly, and I was so
Mhm.
cozy.
Yeah.
So it
It's
happened.
good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you to everyone that did reach out on my birthday. Obviously, we had the one fan who reached out via email, so thank you so much
Yes.
for that.
Shout out.
But there were other fans who reached out in other social outlets, so thank you for everyone that reached out.
Speaking of fans reaching out, this fan doesn't get a shout out because I told her to send an email
Oh.
and she said no.
Oh.
But I do have a correction to make regarding last episode
Oh.
when I talked about Abbott Elementary.
Oh, right.
In last episode, I said that there is a character on Abbott named Melissa Chimenti, and for some reason I said she was Irish, and she's Italian.
Oh.
She's definitely Italian.
You know what? That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew that, and I don't know why I said Irish. Just a little silly little hiccup. And this is a fun fact about her. Did you watch The Parent Trap growing up?
Yes.
She's... Oh, you already know this.
Yeah. She won. I believe she won Celebrity Jeopardy, like a while back.
Why do you know that?
Because we watched.
Wait, that's
Jeopardy
not what
all
I
the
was
time.
saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying something else she did. This time, folks, it's not on me. I was saying an unrelated fact.
Okay. Also, folks, it's not glitching. I just keep stopping talking for whatever reason. She plays, I think it's actually Chessie, not Jessie, in The
Okay.
Parent Trap. So
Right.
the one of the girls is like
Nannies.
nanny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's really great in that. And then she's also great in Abbott. And she's also Italian in Abbott.
And one Celebrity Jeopardy.
And won Celebrity Jeopardy.
There we
Of course.
go.
So that's on me. I just wanted to correct my mistakes.
I'm thinking what I want to do is just start throwing in screen grabs willy-nilly into our recordings whenever we reference like a third person.
I
So
would love
people
that.
know who we're talking about.
Okay, that would be fun because you could do like her from Abbott and her from Parent Trap.
And her winning Celebrity Jeopardy.
And her winning Celebrity Jeopardy did. Yes, of course.
I'll be really disappointed she didn't win, but I'm pretty sure she did.
Like recently?
It probably within the last couple of years, for sure.
Is that just Jeopardy but with semi-famous people?
You nailed it right on the head. The finals was like her and like Mo Rocca. You know Mo Rocca?
No.
Oh, but you remember when Stanley goes Mo Rocca Christmas? That's
I
a
thought he
real
was just-
person. That's a
I
real
thought he was
person.
just saying Morocco weird.
No.
Mo Rocca.
There's a real person named Mo
Wow.
Rocca.
Okay, wait. Like, don't mind me for my
Yeah, look him up.
Mo Rocca.
He doesn't look anything like what you're picturing in your head.
What?
I told you.
That's not what I was picturing at all.
Yeah.
A Mo Rocca. Okay, that's actually so funny though.
It's pretty funny.
That's so much better.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's mildly famous people. Yeah, and they do Jeopardy, Double Jeopardy, and then Triple Jeopardy. So the shows are longer, and then like a lot of the winnings go to charity.
Okay, I don't.
all
As
of them?
someone who doesn't know anything about Jeopardy, I don't double and triple.
Extra, it's basically extra points.
Okay, but the same game.
Yeah, it's just categories and then answers about.
Is it all categories? Like just everything?
Well, what?
Like there's just a wide range of categories. Like, do you study for this show?
Yeah, you can. Like, we'd have to look it up. It's insane because like the questions are so broad.
Yeah.
You know, so like some categories just are stuff you picked up in high school, and if you happen to remember it, you remember it.
Wow.
And some stuff's like, what is the body of water in the middle of, Carthage? And it's like, I don't know.
What's Carthage?
It's a place in Greece, I think.
Oh, of course.
Or somewhere in Europe. I don't know.
I'm gonna offer a compliment to someone close to me. I think Roz would do really well on Jeopardy.
Okay. Roz is very close to you.
He's kind of just good at random things. Random things.
What about basketball?
Is he good at basketball
Yeah.
or is he good at facts about
Let's hit the
basketball?
court.
I'd say
sometime.
no to both.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never seen him play basketball,
Okay.
and I've never heard him talk about basketball.
This is good. This is a good little tangent where I recently, Celia and I got Y memberships.
nice.
And now so when I say every, I mean I've done it every, not that I'm going to be able to keep it up, but every Saturday I have gone in the morning and played basketball for at least an hour.
Wow.
Just by
Okay, I
myself.
have questions.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you just answered my question.
Okay.
By yourself.
By myself.
Like you're not with like a group of
No.
other
I get
people.
there, so I've gone twice because we've had the membership for 2 Saturdays
Okay.
worth of time.
Right.
And I've also gone on a Sunday, so I've played basketball 3 times.
Nice.
On the Saturdays, though, I go at 7 a.m., which is when the Y opens. And
Wow.
then it is me. And then there are these 3 middle-aged to older men,
Okay.
probably age ranging from 50 to 65.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically do drills together, like that you would see a middle school basketball team do.
Like I'm obsessed.
It's great. It's great. And so I'm on the other end of the court doing my own thing. And then they're
Nice.
over there, like, doing actual... It's not like they're just shooting around, hanging out, having a good time. Well, they're probably
Wow.
having a good time. But
They're like doing
I
like
think they're in a rec
screens
league.
and layups.
Yeah,
and
I think
stuff.
they're in a rec league. And they're practicing.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. So that's been the constants. Like it's been
Right.
me and them. And then like other random people will show up sometimes, but
I would love to play basketball with you, and I think Ross probably would as well.
okay, that'd be great.
Not at 7 a.m., but
Okay,
just
sure.
that's stuff.
We'll make it work.
Do you set an alarm for that, or do you just wake up
No, I
early?
set an alarm.
And you like doing that?
It feels good to get it out of the way.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just like playing
That's good.
basketball and it's a good way to get
Yeah.
it into my schedule.
I would do it at 7. I would be there at 7
Okay.
for like do a one-off.
Sure. Well, what we could do is pivot it into our ballet class.
Love.
See?
Yes.
There you go.
That would be great.
Little teaser for a future episode.
Yeah. They don't know
um,
what's coming.
yeah. But no, I was thinking in terms of it relating to you saying you've never seen him play basketball, Roz.
Yes. Yeah.
I had this tug and pull or push and pull. I guess I was trying to go for opposites. Tug and pull are the same. I was having this. I was having a push and pull of feelings because playing basketball again has brought the joy back in a lot of ways.
Wow.
Just like extra happiness. I've been joyful
That's amazing.
for the last few years, but now I have even more joy because I love playing
That's
basketball. So it's been a win. And I've only been doing it for 2 weeks, but it's been a win.
That's a huge win.
So that's the push.
Right.
Is like, yes, I get to play basketball again. I'm having a great time. Here's the pull.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm worried that at some point Celia's going to watch me playing by myself and I'm going to do like some sort of move against an invisible opponent and she's going to get the ick.
Oh no!
And leave me forever.
2 years in and gets the ick.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's a tough one.
Tough.
Imagine like I dribble the ball off my foot and then I have to chase after it.
And you're crouched over.
Yeah.
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 I can see that clearly.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Right, like I step on my shoelaces and fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, there's a really easy shot because there's no one there and you're super close.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you don't get even near the basket.
Yeah, or I think a really good one is like it's a terrible combination to both do something poorly in a basketball sense and then have something also happen to your headphones. Like your headphones are askew.
Wait, you wear headphones when you do this?
Oh yeah.
Like over
you think
the
I'm just
headphones?
shooting with no other stimulant?
Yeah. Well,
No.
I kind of feel like that's a little better than you having full-blown headphones on.
No, I need
Like the ones you're wearing
headphones.
right now?
I mean, similar.
Like muffs? You have muffs and
I
you're
do
playing
have.
with.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's my ick.
What? Why? Why can't I wear headphones?
No, you can.
Or
I just wasn't picturing
over
it.
Is it because they're the big ones?
Yeah.
Oh,
And now I can really see you not doing well in the basketball and then
Yeah.
your headphones falling off.
that's what
Like,
I'm
I can
saying.
see that one.
It's a risk.
That would
but
be
it's
the
7
worst.
a.m. So
Yeah, it's
it should be fine.
And you can blame anything on you just being tired.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. But that's the thing. But if we were to play together, I would not wear the headphones.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I haven't shot a basketball in so many years. So I don't think it would go well.
The
But
last
it'd
time
be
you
fun.
played basketball was middle school, right? Competitively?
Yeah, I think, well, maybe ninth grade?
That's still middle school.
That's high school.
Not for us.
Yeah, but for everyone else in the world,
Oh,
for all of our
give me a break.
far and wide
Cheap.
listeners.
That's fair. Okay, so you might have played ninth grade.
Okay, also, how weird is it that we went to a 3-year high school?
I loved it.
That's kinda
I'll be
weird.
honest. I think it's the better. I think we've talked about this on the pod before.
I don't remember that
And
happening.
I've ranted about how I don't think ninth graders should be within 500 yards of a 12th grader at any point in their lives.
Oh. For like danger
For a lot of
purposes?
reasons. Yeah, just bad influences in general.
Oh, really?
It depends
I
on the
didn't feel
12th
that
grader.
way.
I think I would have been a good influence, but
Yeah.
Um,
Well, how were you as a ninth grader? Would you have been influenced?
no.
Okay, so
I was very steadfast.
yeah.
I'm probably more impressionable now as a 27-year-old.
Stay away from the high schools now.
What like tinkering toys do you have in
I'm
front
so
of
sorry.
you?
I already put it away.
Do you have a Rubik's cube and a
I knew I was gonna yell. This was making the popping.
Yeah.
I was doing one of those.
Uh-huh.
And then I was playing
And
with
a
this
fidget
guy.
spinner. Where show us the fidget spinner.
Hey,
Goodness,
I'm
this is
done.
what happens, folks. We record a far away, so then her ADHD takes over.
Yeah, it's not great.
You
Sorry.
know what you need is a mug. This is like me being ADHD is just sipping on something. Oh, the fourth beer of the
It's all
day.
gone. Super good though.
um, Wait, what were we talking about? Oh, school.
Basketball.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
ninth and 12th graders.
I think I would have been fine at high school. That being said, that high school,
Yeah,
I'm glad it was only 3 years.
me too.
Not very big. But I do think it's weird because the other high schools in the district were the same.
I just don't think it's that weird. It's not like your education changes because of it.
Yeah, but I think it's uncommon.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I tell people that and they're like, what?
yeah, but what's wrong
What
with
kind
that?
of podunk town were you in?
Podunk. I'll have you know. We have a mod
Um,
and a Chipotle.
well, didn't you say the mod by your house isn't happening?
That's a different. This is podunk. I was referring to our high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of other posh things in our high school's area, Target.
Wow, great segue.
Thank you.
Boy, do I have a story for you. This is crazy.
You,
This
the
is the
audience.
craziest thing that's
She's
ever.
referring to me and the audience because I haven't heard
Well,
this.
yeah, mostly you,
Oh,
I feel like.
the audience isn't
And
gonna
I
love this.
have a
She's
prop.
got receipts.
She's got the receipts.
Oh,
And this has almost been thrown out so many times by Roz
oh,
that
come
I've
on,
had to defend it
come on,
until we could
Ross.
record this.
A
Okay.
cleanly guy.
Yes, yes. I don't know why I was at your house. Did we record? Was it episode 2? Yeah. After
Yes.
episode 2,
Yes. Yes.
I was at your house and my car is broken at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and me and Roz just have the one. So we've been in kind of a pickle. And I've been really stubborn about it needs a new transmission, and it's not going well, and it's going to be really expensive, and we can't find it. Anyways, so I'm borrowing my parents' car, which is a Tesla, which then needs to be charged, and we just plug it into an outlet, like a phone,
Right.
basically, but then it charges like 4 miles per hour, which is not very much,
Right.
because it is supposed to charge up to like 280 miles or something
Are
like that, and it
most
takes.
houses bad at charging Teslas? Is that like a common thing?
Well, they just slow.
Because they
Yeah,
don't
so
have the
like,
power for it.
yeah, I know there's a way that we could get it up more,
Siphon
just like
from the
with our
neighbors.
house, for sure.
Yeah.
My parents have like the Tesla charger, which I don't
Oh.
think is that expensive, but it jumps up the charging a lot. Like,
Oh.
anyway, so it charges really fast at their house. But since I was at your house,
Mm-hmm.
the only Tesla charger in the whole area is at the Target in our high school's town.
Yes.
And it's new. I think it only went up like a couple months ago.
Wow.
Anyways, so I had some errands I had to get, I guess, some errands I had to run
Okay.
and some groceries I had to get. So I just did it all at Target after plugging in the car. So I went in and I bought like lots of cleaning stuff because we were out of like soap and like spray. And I bought this bedroom over here. We've lived here for like, I don't know, 9 months or something, and it doesn't have any like bedside table or lamp or anything.
Call the
You know.
police.
Right.
Can't wait to come have a slumber party.
Well, I thought you were on your birthday. Dang it.
Oh, right, because of the snow.
Yeah. Anyways, so I was like, oh, the car took like 30 minutes to charge anyways. So I was like, I'll just putz around and see what I find. Found some stuff. So some lights, like the cover and the post. Anyways, and I also bought this like fancy shark mop thing where you like steam. I think I was telling you about it. You like
yeah. It sounds
it just
awesome.
uses heat and like water to like clean your floors. It's so good.
So you've used it by now,
Yes,
and you like it's good. Huh.
highly recommend.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was like the car was gonna be done, so I went to go check out. And the person checking out was like probably about our age or so, and kind of a quirky guy. Like I put everything.
Scanning and like
Yeah.
the employee.
The employee guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, was probably like our age-ish. And he was kind of odd. Like I put all this stuff up there, and he kept making these like jokes, but they were confusing and like didn't have much context. Like he was scanning something else, like scanning, say, like the soap or something, but then he goes, ah, favorite movies, Jaws, huh? And I said, what?
The
And he goes,
shark.
the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
Well, you okay. But then there was something else. He like made so many different references of different things, and I was like, I just wanted to curl up into a ball and run away. I actually almost texted you afterwards to say I just had the weirdest interaction
You
of my
did.
life.
You did text me that.
Okay, well, I did. It was so weird.
Okay.
Anyways, then I had a $10 gift card, so I was like, "Oh, do you think you could scan this and put it towards the stuff?" He was like, "Yes, for sure." So it was so awkward. He was making so many comments. He scanned everything, and I already had my Apple Pay ready. So he was like, "And it's going to be this much," and I was like, and then he goes, "You didn't let me scan the gift card yet," and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
sorry. I'll just take that back." And then he made some comment. He was like, "Oh, and I saved you a couple dollars on that olive oil." I was like, "Okay,
Cool.
thanks. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna run away." So I gather my things, I go to the car, and I go home. And then when I'm unpacking everything
Oh
at
no.
home,
Oh no. This is the
what?
receipt.
It's
This
the
is why you.
freaking receipt.
Yeah.
I'm unpacking it, and I'm looking at this receipt, and it says your total savings
Yeah.
$124.58. That shark machine
Yeah.
was supposed to be $110, and he only charged me $45 for all of like the lampshades and the like bedside lamp stuff. I got two of each. He only charged me for one. For all of the like kitchen supplies and different things, that I got like two soaps and like two of this, only charged me for one. He took off like this one thing, was the olive oil was like $18, and he charged me $4.
What is going on?
I have no idea. How crazy is that?
That first of
Like,
all, the fact that you're describing this as a weird experience, this is a great experience at
it was a
Target.
great experience, but I'm like, what happened? This is
Follow
so
up
crazy.
question: did you have your wedding ring on?
I didn't. Well, so that's what
Okay.
my cousin said.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, and also it wasn't like that. Like, I don't think he was probably attracted to someone like me
Sure.
at all.
Okay.
Um,
Huh.
anyways, so it was crazy. I told my cousin, and she said, that is so wild. Also, do you think you can go back and get me a shark for
Yeah, I
$45?
want one now. Jeez Louise.
So yeah, wild. I think my only explanation is that he got hired by Target and is trying to take them down from the inside.
That's a good. Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
so crazy.
crazy. Total
And
savings
I feel
of
like
140,
I
you said?
feel $124.
Wow.
And it was just like kind of weird because he said like, oh, I saved you on the olive oil or something, and then he kind of showed this to me, and I was like, okay, thanks, but I didn't see it. So I probably seemed like really weird, but mostly I was just confused.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was just so crazy. I've
Oh
never had
my
something like that happen.
goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Good for you.
I don't know. My house is gonna be so clean now and so cheap.
What would you do if you went back to Target and saw him again?
I
Would
don't
you say
know.
thank you? Do you think he'd recognize you?
I don't think he'd recognize me.
I guess
Probably
we don't
not.
know.
He has so many other like, I mean, so many people go through there. Like I
Yeah,
don't think
but
he
I don't
would.
know. Not everyone's getting $120 off. What were you?
Maybe if
I
I
have
bought
so
another
many
shark.
questions. I want to like Sherlock our way into this of like.
Okay.
Well, no, I mean I meant more like not actually do it.
Okay.
Like I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, were you
It was really
wearing
wild.
like? It's as if he was 60 years old and you were wearing like his alma mater or something. You know, it's like that. Like these are the explanations that kind of make sense.
Yeah.
If the
No,
hitting
he
on
was
you
our
thing
age.
didn't work, and
I don't
the
think he was hitting on
no,
me.
I know that's what I'm saying. If like
Yeah,
if that's
no.
not the answer,
Yeah.
and our age, like the whole none of this makes sense really,
It was really odd.
huh? And that's
I
so
have
much
no
money. It'd be
explanation.
one thing if it was just the olive oil.
I know. So
Maybe
much
he's just
money.
really bad at his job.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
But then
But I
again,
don't
these things are pretty
know.
self-automated in terms of you scan it and it puts in a price.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know how, like, would he have gone through and just like adjusted all these prices? Like, I just don't know really how it works, but
yeah,
Like a lot of them, like the threshold, like I don't know, the lampshades I got was like $2 at $15 each. Um, and then, but he only it ended up just charging me $15 total, like that
Wow.
type of thing.
Wow.
So I don't know. Or it's like regular price, like he just cut everything in half and then some
Maybe
on a
he
lot of
maybe
things.
it
I
was
don't
a
know.
times two button or a times half button.
A nice,
Yeah.
dangerous button for Target.
Very dangerous. My
Losing a
goodness.
lot of money.
So what we're learning here is if you have Target stock, sell, sell, sell.
Yeah.
They're being attacked from within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was like his response to remember I had just left your house and you
Yes.
told me that Target decided to like
Yeah.
stop
The
DEI or something.
DEI. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that was his way of getting back at them.
That's true. And since we brought it up, I guess it should be said that Sully did not want to go to Target after that news had
Right.
broke. It was
Of
more of the
course.
charging purposes and
I
the
was gonna get stranded.
right.
I had to go.
So yeah, big fans of Costco though. Shout out to Costco.
I went to Costco 2 days ago.
There you go.
Great experience.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
owner is cool.
No eggs though. Really
Well,
having an
eggs
egg
are a tough
crisis.
situation right now in
I
America.
know.
Yeah,
It's a bummer.
chicken owners are laughing,
Oh. Well, our chicken well until their chickens die.
are massacred. Yeah.
Or kill them with their eggs.
Oh, wait,
Is
what?
that the science? Can you get it through eggs?
Get what?
The flu, the bird
Oh,
flu. What are you talking
I
about?
was just talking about your brother's chickens.
Oh,
Yeah.
rest in peace.
R.I.P. Actually, the prayer hands makes me think of a quick aside of I was playing basketball as I always do this last Saturday, and and this guy showed up and he annoyed me so much. So it was me for the first 45 minutes. It was me and then the three men that I already detailed out earlier.
Yeah.
Another guy comes in, probably around my age,
Okay.
sits on the bench and starts putting on his basketball shoes.
Do
So
you bring basketball shoes?
I do for those
Oh,
days.
okay.
Yes. If I just go
Okay,
to the
okay.
gym, no. But
Right. Do you
if
bring your own basketball?
no,
Or do they have them
no,
there?
because
They
at
have them.
7, I don't have to worry about them running out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he comes in, sits down, starts lacing up his shoes, and I'm like, okay, well, so the way that for people that probably can't picture it in their head, there is a main basketball court the size of like a regulation court, and it has one hoop on each side of it. Then they split at half court. It splits obviously, and then there's two hoops
Hmm.
on each half to make a smaller full court. So there's 6 total hoops in the gym. So hopefully everyone can kind of picture
Right.
that. So I'm shooting on one of the main hoops. So when I say main hoops, I just mean the regulation full court. And then the 3 guys are on the other half. Then this guy shows up, and I'm like, okay, unfortunate because the main hoop is better. But since there's only 2 of us, like he'll shoot on one of the secondary hoops on this half,
Right.
and I'll shoot on the other. Because I wouldn't expect this if it was an open gym and it was the middle of the day and there were like 20 people in the gym. Then you hope you hold onto your ball the whole time and you shoot at
Right.
whatever hoop you can. And it is what it
Yeah.
is. But for such an empty gym, you want as much space as you can get.
Yeah.
So then I do that and I basically move over to the other hoop. And this goober, he starts shooting on the main hoop.
No.
Yeah, and he's doing these stupid like warm up drills too, where he's like
That's
super
tough.
close to the hoop. So even if I wanted to shoot on the main hoop, I would feel annoying because he would have to keep getting like my
Yeah.
rebounds and stuff.
Right.
Because like there's obviously a gym etiquette. Like if someone else's ball rolls towards you, you pick it up and
Yeah.
throw it to him. It's be
Yeah.
nice. But it's less likely to happen in terms of us interacting if I shoot on one side and you shoot on the other.
Yeah.
The odds of our balls having to like us like help each other out very
Yeah.
low, right?
Right.
But because he chose to shoot on the main hoop, his ball rolled over into my area
Mm.
multiple times where I had to pick it up and throw it to him. Bad enough, but he made it worse because every time I passed him the ball back, he did this.
Oh.
He did, for anyone just listening.
Did he say anything?
No, well, I had my headphones on, but I think he mouthed the words like "thank you." But anyways, for people that are listening and not watching, he basically did prayer hands at me each time, like as a way of saying thank you, and I just thought that was really just I don't know.
Mm.
There was something douchey about it. Like you don't need to do
It's
that.
the way he did the
And
prayer
not every
hands.
time either. Like you could do it the first time, but it's kind of an understood thing. Like if your ball rolls under my feet, I'm going to throw it to you. So I
Yeah.
don't need you to do the prayer hands
You don't
every
need to
time.
prayer hands me every time.
No,
Yeah. That's
no.
dumb.
If you have
Did
to, go
your
ahead.
ball ever go towards
Of
him?
course not. No. And if it
Yeah,
ever
I
was going
figured. I
to, I
knew
would
it.
have run with the speed of light.
Dove.
Yeah, yeah,
Stopped it.
yes, yes. So
Mm.
yeah, I'm liable to dive on a basketball court. It's true. I've done it before.
Yeah?
Yep.
Did you save the ball?
A rec basketball game. This was my college years.
Oh.
Um, we were playing a rec intramural game, and let's just say that I can be sometimes try hardy, but I try not to be
Mm-hmm.
in casual situations, which I consider intramural to be casual.
Yeah.
But there may or may not have been a female in attendance for our game that I was trying to
Yep.
that I
This is the
thought.
story I thought it was.
Yeah, I don't even know if you know this story.
I've heard it.
Okay.
But proceed.
Can you give me a hint of who you think I'm talking about without saying who they are?
Um, Well, now I'm feeling like I don't know.
Whoa.
Were you
Okay, the most. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna have to bleep that out. Yes.
That's why I don't know. I was just
I said a hint,
you.
not something obvious.
I know, but what?
All right, the audience will love that.
Okay.
They'll love the bleep.
Okay, well, I'll think
I
of
have
something
butterflies talking about this right now because I've never
else. I'm trying to
publicly.
think of.
I've
I'm
never.
trying to think of a different name
Yeah.
or a different hint. Like, what would you have said? I don't.
Stop.
Okay.
Where's the pen?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Hour 2, 1 hour.
But like
2 minutes.
it was a difficult position to put me in. I would just like.
I know. I'm sorry. I just thought you would come up with something like sly enough.
Yeah.
But like, that's funny. That is very funny. Sorry. Anyways, yes, that person was in attendance.
Sorry.
But of course, it's like, of all the things in my life where there's been instances of me trying to, in my mind, subtly impress a girl, even if it wasn't so subtle. This was one where it kind of remained probably the most subtle out of any situation. A lot of that was just due to circumstances
Right.
of the time. But I mean, if you think back to like Boo, for instance, like there were moments where I was just like, I'm going for it, and then it just didn't work. So this was one of those scenarios where it was subtle for the most part.
Right. Yeah.
And then so she was at the game, and then a ball, and again, this is just intramural basketball, and then a ball, someone missed a shot, and the ball was trailing out of bounds, and then I was like, I could grab this, but I will have to leave my feet to get to it without stepping out of bounds.
Yeah.
And so I did it, and I dove full out, grabbed the ball, and then chucked it backwards, to save it. And honestly, I could lie. Or not lie. I could make the story sound better by saying that it went straight to one of my teammates. I don't remember. It might have gone to the other team. I don't know who I passed it to. But I remember I grabbed it and threw it backwards. And the city where I went to college experienced a 2.2 magnitude earthquake. Because I hit the ground. I hit the ground so hard. Full body, when people belly flop in the water, really bad, and you can hear it because their whole body smacks the water.
Yeah.
That's me. That was me hitting the court floor. My whole body just went wham, perfectly belly flopping. But of course, I'm aware of the situation. I just did this cool move. I can't lie on the ground in pain, so I get up and I think gameplay stopped because people were so baffled that I would even attempt such a move. And so I get up, I stand up, and I think the ball had been knocked out of bounds or something a few seconds later. So the refs had blown the whistle, and then people are like, "Do you need to sub out?" I think Professor Snowflake ran over. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm good. like trying. I couldn't breathe at all, but I didn't want to be subbed out because I thought that would
Yeah.
look so dumb. So
So
I had
you,
to survive for like probably 1 to 2 more minutes of gameplay, which felt like an hour, just to then like have a reason to sub myself out without having it seem like it was related to what had just
yeah.
transpired. So, anyways, did it impress her? Probably not, and it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that whole thing playing out
yeah,
in my mind.
yeah, yeah.
It's really
It's
funny.
like it's like almost a that is like a literal interpretation of many of my like metaphorical instances of belly flopping with women. Like
Right.
that's like that's when it really happened to me.
Yeah.
Was like, but oftentimes I did it metaphorically,
Yeah.
where it just things were terrible. But
I was trying to describe your dad to Roz
mm,
because we made a comment of him being the mayor of our town,
right,
and Roz was like, "Wait, why? What's that about? Was he in a
mm,
mayoral position or something?" And I was like, "No, but he could have been." And so I was describing him,
yeah,
and I went through, the boombox with baseball and like,
yes,
all the things and
yeah,
how he was just like known far and wide. And then I described how you called him a womanizer of sorts or something,
yes, yes, a
and
Casanova,
how a Casanova, yes, and how he would give you advice with girls,
yes.
and it was always just really going for it, just all
Always,
out.
yeah, always on the furthest end of the spectrum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
iconic.
very much
I
so.
described the Taylor Swift song playing one. That
Oh,
was
that one's the worst, in my opinion. Of all his ideas, I think that one was the worst. Like that doesn't play these days. Like that's not
yeah,
that has nothing to
it
do with
was
Taylor
funny.
Swift, by the way, audience. That's more
Oh
just
yeah,
the
no,
concept of the idea was bad.
yeah,
But
yeah,
no, he had okay ideas other times. But now remember everyone, this is a man who at the same time I refer to jokingly but in a true way as a Casanova, but also
right,
he flipped the script on everyone and became and has like one of the most romantic stories of
right,
how he ended up with my mom. So, like he went basically from there's a true story of him having dated 6 women at the same time and then they all found out and confronted him
wow,
to then him meeting my mom um, through a mutual friend's wedding, and she asked the two of them to sing at her wedding. So they met, like,
oh,
they literally met meeting up to practice for singing at a wedding, and
that's
then
nice.
they ended up getting married. So,
And he was engaged though at the time, right?
okay, okay, I was gonna leave that
Sorry,
part out. That's true.
sorry.
That's
No, I
true.
think that makes it.
That
That
makes
kind
it.
of makes
I
it
don't know if it
even
makes it
more
more
romantic.
romantic.
I think so. Well, because your parents had such like a long, happy marriage.
Oh well,
Like I
yes,
think that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yes. He was engaged at the time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to like expose him. I think that's, I don't know. He met your mom and it was just like everything
Wow.
else was in the past.
I'm like because we've talked about it before and because you just said it, I'm inclined to think it's true. For whatever reason, right now I'm like, were they engaged or had they just been dating for a long
Um,
time? I'm pretty confident they were engaged.
mm,
But
mm.
yes, and to anyone who's worried, so my dad met my mom practicing for singing, and like the second, I think it was like a few maybe practices later or something. Like, but the night he knew that he was interested in my mom, he did in fact drive over to his fiance's house and did things. So
Yeah.
as sad as that was on that night, and probably hard for both of them, there was no leading on
Yeah,
or crossover.
for sure.
So
Yeah.
amen to that.
I think that's a
That
very
part's
sweet story for
sweet.
your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they all ended up working in the same school district, which
Wow.
was really awkward.
That's tough. I didn't know
Yeah.
that part.
I've never met her, but I always thought it'd be really funny to like lead with a line of like, "Hey, almost mom." Just kidding.
Nice. So you know who it is then?
I mean, I know like of her. I know,
Yeah.
I could get her name, but
Yeah.
I don't I know nothing about her really.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if she has kids cuz she got married. And like do I
Wow.
like should my siblings fight that family's kids? There's so many fun
Wow. So many.
opportunities. But
That's great.
yeah. Um I was going to use that segue of the romance and basketball leaping and all that. So I was going to use that to pivot into the apps and whatnot that I was going to read off of.
Oh, right.
But I don't know if that's too long of a bit for where we're at in this current episode. So I was wondering, in terms of what you think, should we just end with me finalizing a message to my other outreach program, the other mayor, who I want to talk to, just so we feel productive that we did something on this episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds good.
And then maybe we can record another one like for like a Valentine's situation, and you can read your.
Oh my goodness, great idea! But you're gonna be gone for like the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, but if we do this,
okay,
one of these,
you would have your laptop.
Let's play it by ear, because I am going to be back, but I'm just on call.
You can join via phone.
Okay, let's try. Let's try and do it.
Yeah, the video I think makes it still feel personal. Like, because the whole reason we started recording in person was because we started doing video so much. And obviously we moved back, but still.
Yeah.
Part of it was like this fun thing. But this is a great discovery.
Great.
So let us know if you're
okay, let's try. Let's plan on trying to
try for some sort of Valentine's Day episode. It doesn't have to be on Valentine's Day, obviously.
Right.
But around there. Okay, great. Perfect. So anyways, we'll finish today's episode with a note that what would be really funny is if this person ends up listening to this, and maybe we could get him on the pod.
That'd be exciting.
That would be exciting, I guess. Also, another person we've teased as having as a guest, I think, goes to the Y, and worked out next to me. Just the other night.
I have no idea.
A former coach, that I joked early on in our podcasting that I would try and get him on the pod.
A coach for who?
Football.
Oh, okay. Nice. Wow, that's exciting.
I got nervous that it wasn't him, though, so I did the weirdest thing you can do, which is literally, so we were at one of those, like, stations of, like, of a gym where it's, like, the cable equipment. So, like, some people are, like, literally a foot apart from each other, because he was doing, like, some bicep thing with the cables, and then I was one cable over doing, like, a back workout. So we were very close to each other, and in between sets, I was like, kind of like half looking at him, trying to make sure. Like, I was like, do I need to acknowledge him? Does he even know who I am? Because I never played for him, but we were friendly and familiar, and he knew my family, obviously,
right?
And so the weird thing that I chose to do was just in the middle of the Y gym. I looked him up on Facebook to like just kind of align the profile thing. Like, yeah, that's him. Which was super weird. And guess what? It was inconclusive. I still didn't feel comfortable.
Really?
I didn't feel comfortable being like, yeah, that's him for sure.
Because you weren't getting a good look, or because he had changed so much since he last was on Facebook?
I just I hadn't seen him in so long, and I just really wanted to avoid, any profiling.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah. So, I'd rather be safe than sorry on that one.
Very good call.
Because if I just shout out, "Hey, coach," who? That's a tough one to bounce back from. I have to end my membership.
Yeah. After 2 weeks of being there.
And I really like the Saturdays. So, anyways,
summer.
Recently, so far in 2025. One of my goals, I think that I outlined in episode 1, was that I was trying to reach out to folks, consider having conversations with calling them mentors is probably a little bit of a stretch, but talking to people that I've known historically that I at least feel comfortable sharing my own mental process with on things, and then seeing if they have anything wise to say. And if not, then at the very least, I had a conversation with a human that's outside my main social circle, which is probably healthy. So one of these said individuals, and I guess this part of it is going to potentially make them look bad. So apologies in advance if this gets to you or your congregation. Um,
I'm sure it will
it's just
not.
on blast on their big screen.
They play it.
Yeah. Um, but this I reached out to this local man who actually was one of my former coaches for
Oh,
basketball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I wanted to reach out to him to try and meet up.
Because was he like an assistant coach
Yeah,
for the school or something?
yeah. Honestly, though, he has such a demeanor about him. I feel like he might have just like volunteered himself without going through any of the proper channels.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
he's
I
so
could see
nice
that.
and friendly. He might have just shown up to
Yeah, and
coach
just
our
kept showing up.
practices. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's kind
Yeah.
of because like literally there was one time where in high school Professor Snowflake and I went to the Y to play basketball, and he was there, and he walked by, and he looked in and like kept walking, and was just watching us, and then as he's walking, we see him and we wave, and he never says hi back or waves back. He literally just goes, "Yes, yes," and then he left. Like he was so proud of
That
us for honing
that
our.
fits so
It
well.
really does.
That's so funny.
So
Yes.
so anyways, I wanted to reach out to this man, just to literally, like I said, get kind of a third party's view in on some of like my own like approaches to stuff in life. And unfortunately, I only have Facebook to reach out to him on. Facebook Messenger. I have no other way of contacting him.
Wait, you don't have his phone number?
Why would I have his phone number? Okay. No, I
You
don't. I don't.
yeah.
And so yeah, so I messaged him on Facebook, which again isn't great, especially because he's a very busy guy and probably has a lot of people reaching out to him. Because I
Probably.
don't think this is too exposing, but he's a pastor.
Yes.
So if there's any local person who's probably getting a lot of messages, it's a pastor of a popular church.
Very
Because even the
popular.
people you
Yeah.
don't want messaging you are probably messaging you,
Yeah.
with prayer requests or whatever it is. And so anyways, I reached out to him just to say like, hey, haven't talked in a while. We've done this before. Like we've met up, and when I was still in college, we had met up a few times just to chat. And but it had been a few years, so I just sent a simple message of just like, hey, know you're busy, but if you ever want to get together sometime just to chat, I'd appreciate it. Um, let me know, like something simple like that. And then he did respond, and he was like, "Sounds great, I'm in. Like I think that would be good." Um, but then he said, "Does the last week of January or the first week of February work?" And you might be wondering why we're laughing, and it's because we're recording this on February 5th.
Yeah.
So the first week of February is almost over.
So he has two days
2 days to say, hey, do you want to meet
to
tonight?
schedule
Yeah.
it.
A little tough. Oh, nice. And so yeah, so I had responded like, yes, that works great. I'm in no rush. Like, I'm just happy to have the conversation. It's not like
Mhm.
I wasn't like needing advice for a
Yeah.
conversation that day.
Yeah.
But I was put in a position where I didn't feel like I could schedule it because he's the busy one
Right.
and the one who said
Yeah.
like, hey, how about one of these 2 weeks? And I'm just like, yes, I can make anything work.
Yeah.
I didn't feel comfortable saying like, yeah, let's do the 4th, and then have him be
Yeah.
like,
And that would be
no,
like,
I'm not available. Like,
not that he would be annoyed about that, but that's like an annoying
yeah, because I'm already
response.
making the request
Yeah.
to like meet up. But anyway,
Yeah.
so we're basically in a position where he still hasn't responded. And now that it's the middle of the week, the last week that he had offered, I think it's appropriate and fair for me to send a quick follow up just saying, like, hey, I'm still
Yeah.
interested. I don't want to sound needy, but
Yeah.
it genuinely is just for, like, I don't know, what I think would be thoughtful conversation.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Right.
This isn't me double texting a girl for her number kind of thing. Which is foreshadowing
Yeah.
to our Valentine's Day episode. But
Yes.
so anyways, because we're all about productivity here, I'm gonna grab my phone real quick, and we're gonna send that follow-up message live on the pod.
Wow. Okay.
Did
Love.
you not understand that that's what I meant?
No,
Oh, that's what I
not at all.
meant. So what do you think is the best way to do this?
Keep it light.
Keep it light.
That's my best advice.
How do you know if someone's read that? Did he even read the last message I sent? It just says sent.
Does it not say seen? Check your other messages. Maybe they say seen.
Oh, yeah. Hang on. I have to find... Whoa! The Houston Astros messaged me. That's cool. It just says, hey, let us know how we can help you. Maybe they want to talk. Okay, this is odd. Uh-oh. Now this whole plan might be kaput.
Why? Do you not think he saw it? Well, like he probably saw it, but like
Yeah, well, like everyone does have on. I'm just jumping into chats where I sent the last message, similar to what he and I have done, and they all have like their profile pic showing like underneath it, which I think indicates that it's been read by them.
Oh, right.
Whereas right now, my most recent message just says sent, and his profile pic is still up by his last message.
Oh, yeah, so maybe he hasn't opened it yet.
Oh. What do I do now?
I don't know.
Is it fair to send a double text to someone who hasn't opened it yet? I mean, what's the level of responsibility for someone to open their messages?
Well, but maybe he's leaving it unread as a reminder.
Yeah, which totally makes sense actually for
Yeah.
like that, especially in that medium. Like,
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger is even a lower priority than your regular messages. So
Yeah.
and people do that in terms of leaving something unread.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Yeah. Huh. Well, sorry, audience. Or maybe we should type something out.
Okay.
And then I could, or okay, first, let's get a process going. First things first. Is there, so this is a yes or no, is there a time in which you think it would be appropriate for me to send a double message if it never shows that he read it?
Yeah.
And would it be at the end of this week, like say next Monday?
That's what I would do.
Okay, fair. So then,
assuming that he's leaving it unread to remind himself.
To try and squeeze it into this last week.
Or at least to try and schedule it the next 2 days, even if he schedules it for
That's true, week. And I still would appreciate that if he messaged me in the next 2 days. Just say like, hey, sorry, how about next Friday or something?
Yeah.
Valentine's Day. That'd be so stupid. Sorry if that's... Oh, no! 123? 123 twice?
Twice for sure.
Twice. There's so much editing to do tonight. Wow. Brownies. That'd be funny if I'll just crop your shirt down.
Brownies.
Or put this cool flame wing thing.
Yeah, what is that? Are you like Hot Wheels or something?
No, not Hot Wheels. It's the Detroit Red Wings. They're from Detroit, so hence the wheel.
Oh, is that a red sweater?
Yeah, this is very red.
Are they orange?
It's incredibly red.
Okay, it comes off so orange on my screen. In a good way.
That sucks. We're not the Orange Wings.
It seemed like it was orange for like fire for planes.
Oh. No, Red Wings.
Oh, because that's a wing and not a flame.
Wing. It's a wing. It's a wing. Go Red Wings.
I'm dumb.
This is
it was really giving Hot Wheels for me.
Captain.
No, I got that. I just
number 71.
Who's that?
Dylan Larkin.
Larkin?
Yep. The Red Wings are on a heater right now, so it's a big win. They're won 7 in a row. They just beat the Kraken last night.
Wow.
Yeah. So
is the Kraken any good?
No, not really.
Yeah, that checks.
Yeah. But anyways, Detroit's been really bad for the last decade.
That's your team is the Detroit?
Yes.
They're from Detroit.
Just to really quickly, so hockey, Detroit Red Wings.
Right.
Football, Indianapolis Colts. Basketball, Miami Heat. And then baseball, Houston Astros.
And soccer.
Soccer, Bayern Munich.
Nice.
I don't know if I have an MLS. I mean, I guess I'm fine with the Sounders. I don't hate them. Mm-hmm. If I were to pick an MLS team that wasn't the Sounders, I might pick the Chicago Fire.
Really?
I just love that the fact that they really picked a name that it's like, am I going to a game or am I going to a like city like um emergency response like program?
Or like a firefighters rally
Right.
or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
Chicago Fire. It's literally a TV show. Is
Yeah,
Chicago Fire.
that's true.
So, and apparently that show is not true to reality for
Is not fire?
firefighters.
Oh.
So
Well, isn't there like a Tacoma fire?
Tacoma FD, yeah, it's a comedy.
Oh.
So it's also
Hmm.
very not true to real
Not
firefighting.
accurate. Yeah, well, that's the case with a lot of these things.
But if you're in our local area, and you know of some firefighters, or let's say you're out getting a coffee and you see some firefighters,
Okay.
go up to them and ask, did you go down to California to help fight the fires down in California? Because
Yeah.
a lot of local firefighters up here in the PNW apparently went
Hmm.
down and helped fight those fires. And then if they say yes, maybe buy their coffee. And if they say no, good luck with that awkward interaction.
Do you think you would do that ever?
If I was a firefighter?
Nope. If you were you and you saw firefighters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would
I don't see
channel
that
my younger
happening.
self because my younger self desperately would always want to rush up to police officers at parades
Okay.
and ask for their autograph.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was big into like authority figures.
Did you ever get your brother's autograph?
No. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I'm changing. I don't care so much about the police anymore because
Right.
it's in the family now. So it's just kind of
Yeah.
whatever, ho hum. But
Yeah.
firefighters, we don't have any firefighters.
You
So,
could get an autograph from our old high school friend who's a firefighter. He
oh,
fell down
like,
the mountain.
oh, he's a firefighter? Wow. I thought you were referring
No.
to, okay. I thought
Nope. He's an ambulance driver or whatever.
just as
Ambulance
important
person.
or also
But the other
important.
guy is a firefighter.
Yes. Are we talking about the same
Yeah.
guy?
The one
The
the
baller. Oh.
What? He's a firefighter?
Yeah,
No.
he does he goes out into the forest and does like that type of firefighting.
Okay, I'm also talking about the woodworker that I was friends with him and he made a bear for our mutual friend at the time with his name on it.
Oh. I don't even remember his name, but sure.
He has the same name as my brother.
Oh, yes. Yes, and he
He's
rode
a
a
firefighter.
four-wheeler.
Probably.
A
Oh yeah,
quad.
yeah.
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 Yes, everything comes back full circle. Excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. No idea why
Yeah, we
that
keep
story's ingrained in my brain. I wasn't even there for that. But you
Lord.
told it so well. I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Also ingrained in my
cool.
brain. Whoa. Yeah. That's funny.
Wow. Well, okay. That's solid. No need to draft out any message, by the way, to our friend.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
Give it a
excited.
couple days.
I'll let you know if he gets back to me
Yeah. Like, do
anytime
you think you
soon.
will?
I really lost hope a few days
I'm
ago.
giving it like a 15% chance, honestly, but
What do you
that's
give?
15 more percent than if he had read it.
What do you give the chances of if I send a second message?
Of him
Yeah.
responding? 100%.
So you think, in general, if I'm pushy enough, we will meet up?
Yeah.
But
Oh, for sure.
how
I
many?
think he probably wants to. I would say he probably wants to meet up too.
I think, not to pat myself on the back before the end of an episode, but I think I'm an enticing enough figure
Okay.
where, like, if I were to reach out to a handful of people in our hometown
Yeah.
and just said, "Hey, want to meet up for coffee?" They'd be like, "Man,
Wow.
why does he want to meet up with me for coffee?" Like,
Yeah.
yes, I'm in.
I wonder who would not be into that.
I
can
guarantee
think
you,
of a
I
few.
could get the mayor of our town, the actual one, the one who we truly joke about.
Right.
I bet I could get him to meet up with me for coffee.
I'm sure.
That'd
Yeah.
be so funny. I bet I could get the YMCA coach to meet up with me for coffee.
Who's the YMCA coach?
The one that I looked up on Facebook.
Really? You think you could meet? You could do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
This could be a fun
See,
game I play
don't know
throughout
about
season
that.
4. Who messages me back on Facebook?
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, so you don't know about that. Huh.
No, it feels like you're kind of distant, seeing as he was never your coach, and also you didn't remember what he looked like, and you had to look him up on Facebook, and then you still couldn't tell.
Yeah, but I
Like
don't
that feels a
know.
little distant.
There's power in a name.
Okay.
Oh, speaking of, actually, I know this episode keeps draining on and on. I wrote a
We
short
do that.
story,
Wow.
and I was curious if you wanted to hear it.
I do. Well, do I?
It's up to you, I
Yeah, I do.
guess.
I do. I do. I
Okay,
do.
and I'll read it for the pod.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it mean?
This is
This
great.
feels like a bit
No,
like a prank.
it's a real short story. Okay, so I'll give
Okay,
you a
I'm
little
ready.
bit of context.
Okay.
Um, Celia said one of her favorite episodes of the pod was season 2, episode 4, where I tell like the whole story of the Mormon stuff.
Oh, wow. That's okay. So many people have said that.
Okay, well that's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So she said like there was an aspect to it of the storytelling, but also of the real life. Like it was a story of something that really happened, and she just really liked that. And I was like, you know what could be fun is to take that aspect, but slightly twist it into a little bit more of like a, I don't want to call it a bit because usually bits are like comedic, but like
Yeah.
twist it a little bit into something that's like produced and
Okay.
then but in a smaller fashion because we don't need an hour and 40 minutes to tell one story. But I
Right.
was like, okay, what if Sully and I both took to the pen and paper and wrote out,
Wow.
so, like, picked a few stories over time. This isn't something that's due tomorrow. But like, what if we picked out
Have it on
stories?
my desk
Yeah,
tomorrow with
tomorrow,
me.
or you're fired. Um, if we picked out like a story and then wrote it, and then basically had an episode or two, or if we could either do one big episode or over multiple episodes, have like a segment of an episode where like for mine, for example, I was thinking of like having some like smoke fill the room, like the fake
Okay.
smoke, not there's no fire.
Yeah.
Um, and like I have like on like a big fake beard and like maybe like a wizard's hat or something, and I read my story as if like I'm reading like an old tale
Wow.
of
Okay.
yore kind of
Love.
thing.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, well, I don't know if she'll like the concept without proof of concept. So
Yeah.
I wrote a short story
I cannot wait.
written as kind of like a medieval old timey story of something
Wow.
that really happened to me, with
Okay.
some stuff obviously edited in order to make it sound old timey, but for the most part, the story did actually happen to me.
Okay.
So, anyways,
I'm ready to
that's
hear
what
it.
I'm ready to read to you.
I'm so ready.
Okay, here we go. I have to open my notes app real quick. Oh, sorry. Okay, here we go.
I thought it was gonna be on a scroll.
No, well, again, this is just proof of concept. So this is probably something we could do off air, but I'm just gonna read it. And but I took it somewhat serious. I wrote it. Celia could probably tell me, but in terms of pure writing time, it probably took me about an hour. But
Nice.
I did try and write like a well structured story. It's only like 4 paragraphs long, so.
Okay.
But yep. All right. So I'm gonna have my screen up with all the text on it,
Yeah.
so I can't see you.
Okay.
So, which is good
I'll
because
keep my
I'm worried I would
reactions
laugh if I watched you listening to it. Because some of it's gonna make you laugh, but some of it's
Okay.
serious. So it's like a weird mix.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'm so ready.
I'm not even sure if you'll remember this story. So here we go. I'm not going to read it in an old timey voice either because my throat already hurts because we've been recording for an hour and a half. All right, here we go. The title of this short story is called The Burger Reckoning.
Okay.
Okay.
What?
Okay. What's up?
No. Okay. Just keep going.
No, what's the
It's
question?
fine. No, you can't see me, right?
No, I cannot.
Can you see my face? Okay.
No. Okay.
Nothing. Keep going.
Okay. Do you want to mute? Like, are you worried you're going to laugh?
No, because I am, but it's fine.
And that is okay. Some of it's supposed to make you laugh.
Okay.
Okay. And just know that I'm slightly nervous because this is a big story I wrote. Okay, so The Burger Reckoning. 5:23 p.m. on a midsummer evening. The sun was hardly beginning to set as the group's evening plans went into motion. It had been many moons since the Red Bird's Nest had been visited, and it was high time someone was bold enough to encourage the voyage. On such a calm, warm evening, the concepts of anything that could go wrong had yet to cross the minds of any member. The youngest, and some would say most foolhardy of the group, demanded to take first shift at the helm. A reckless young man, to be sure, but with redeeming qualities in both willingness and ability to entertain the others. The sage and self-proclaimed wisest of the group sat up toward the steering device, preparing to provide musical entertainment for the journey. Ever expanding, his musical influences made him a versatile companion for tedious expeditions. Lastly came the oracle of this trio, aptly given his first name prior to the realization that he would possess such foresighted skills. He was last aboard the vessel, as he took careful time to bid farewell to his father, the king, in their home. The journey was expected not to last long, but cloudy were the summer days of late in his household, and nothing could be taken for granted when it came to family. The voyage was quick and uneventful. The trio entered the Red Bird establishment and looked to be seated. As they were led to their table, the group carefully avoided any unnecessary shared glances with other patrons. Few would guess such a cynical-looking group could so quickly smile brightly as they were presented their mugs of ale and additional companionship. 2 others from a nearby land had agreed to meet them at the nest, as during the summer months so little interaction was had between those that did not share the same intimate social circles. Long had friendship existed between them all, and it was long overdue a meal could be shared and stories exchanged. A young servant boy took the meal orders of the group off to the kitchen. The meat patties were a delicacy long touted as best in all the lands. The oracle, specifically, ordered a unique assemblage combining the famous patties with the acidic pineapple, a choice few at the time thought to be foreboding. Just then, a raven burst through the open doorway, coasting along the warm summer wind. Within its mouth, it held a parchment rolled up and hastily tied. The thin rope was nearly popping loose on its own as the gliding shadow swooped over to the reunited group and released the parchment onto the lap of the oracle. Such deliveries of messages were not entirely uncommon here, but an uneasy silence still filled the air, as it was well known that a gull was the typical messenger bird in these parts, whereas a raven was a mark of urgency and peril. Oh, my mouth is so dry. So don't worry, only 2 paragraphs to go.
Like, this is so good.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Like, you should be an author.
Oh, thank you. The oracle clutched at the paper and quickly passed on a disarming smile to his companions. Nervousness would do no one any good, and he did not want his own anxiousness to impact the enjoyment of the night for the others. After enough prodding, the others went back to conversing with one another as the holder of the mystery parchment shakily unrolled the message. It read, "Immediate aid summoned. The king has been knocked off his horse." Panic filled the oracle, as he knew the writing to be that of partial code, encouraging a hasty response, but avoiding divulging the particular secret that the king had fallen ill some time ago, and at times needed immediate assistance when struck with a powerful bout. His chair crashed backward, nearly smacking into the adjacent table. He spoke a few polite words of farewell, and gave curt nods to the lads on his left and right. They were well aware of the issues at the heart of the Raven's ill news. Oh, wait, sorry. Oh, yes, sorry. It's hard to read these texts here. They were well aware of the issues at the heart of the Raven's ill news and needed to know nothing more. In mere moments, the oracle had bounded out of the nest and back onto the ship. Fortunately, as they were a small crew of only 3, they kept a boat capable of being crewed by just one man. It was perhaps the only fortunate twist of fate received on this day. He made the necessary adjustments to both sail and anchor and began the journey home. My screen turned off. Okay. Battling the currents was more difficult alone, thus slowing his return. These delays were hastening the setting of more than just one sun. At last he had view of his home and hardly bothered with any kind of docking. In through the main gate he ran, hurtling over the family dog. Straight to his father's side he kneeled and began to ask for information. He knew with his skills he had gained over the years from all his different tutors that he could help the king, but he had to first speak to him to know which ailment in particular needed healing. The whispered groans met the oracle's ear, and he sprang into action, gathering the needed supplies. Once the suspected remedy was finished being concocted, he sat the king back, poured the drink into his mouth, and waited. Eternally long seconds passed by as he sat with his head buried between his legs. Finally, after a few minutes, the steady rhythm of the king's breathing returned, and a sigh of relief poured out into the room. He knew now that his father would be okay, and simply needed to sleep until morning to feel like himself again. Exhausted, the young son walked to the living room and collapsed on the couch. Light conversation roused the oracle from his accidental nap. He recognized the voices of his two dearest companions come back to his home. He strode over to the gate and beckoned them inside after they had finished tying up the boat the owner of the red bird had lent them. In they came, graciously holding the fresh, albeit cold wrappings of a meat patty with pineapple. They had remembered to collect the oracle's food order and bring it back with them, which was a much-needed boost to morale. They returned to the living room, where the oracle looked to devour the food he had almost lost. As he unwrapped the food, the youngest of the trio began to strum away at his lyre, attempting to bring some of the playful energy that had parted their group with the arrival of the raven. On he strummed, continually changing songs as he could not land on one he could perform perfectly. After a time, each strum began to lose some of its beauty, and instead rang out with a harsh, grating noise, agitating the eardrums of all in the house. None more so than the oracle. As he sat and stared at his patty, an odd feeling of misplaced anger began to rise within him. The incessant noise from the instrument seemed to mock the travesty he had just experienced with his very own father. Now was not the time for playing. It was the time for silence and reflection. Or so he thought. With a venomous tone, he struck out with his voice. "Would you keep that racket down?" The sage peered up from the scroll he had been reading quietly in the corner. Long had it been since he saw such a reaction out of his dear friend. Brash was the reaction of the youngest who, before considering the reasoning behind the oracle's shout, defended his pride by taking 2 quick strides and smacked the patty and all other ingredients out of the oracle's hand. It did not take long for the foolhardy lad to realize the mistake he had made. It was suddenly all too clear just how worn out the oracle was, after not just one evening, but years of experiencing hardship via the king's ailment. Apologies gushed forth from his mouth, as the oracle's eyes ceased to churn as a blue ocean, but instead were absorbed into a black veil of rage and frustration. And then, curiously, the ocean returned, and the black receded. The anger flushed out of the oracle's face, and the dangerous climate in the room seemed to tip more towards comfort. These 2 lads before the oracle were his closest, most trusted life companions. No breach of friendship had truly been committed. All friends act out of character, especially in trying times, and the oracle knew all too well he had fallen victim to it plenty himself. The night returned to quiet smiles and a silent enjoyment of one another's company. As the younger members of the trio turned in for their rest, the oracle looked out at the night sky, shimmering with bright stars. Indeed, he did not need the gift of foresight to know that, much like the dark moments he had experienced that day, darker moments still lied ahead. And he was incredibly blessed by fate to have been gifted 2 companions of such a high quality. They would outshine any of the future shadow that would attempt to shroud his life. He smirked and crawled into bed, holding on to the vision that everything would in fact be okay. The end.
That was so good.
What do you think?
That was crazy.
Wow. Thank you.
I think you should like write a book or something.
that was
so
4
good.
paragraphs.
That was a long 4 paragraphs, though.
was.
That wasn't like a meek 3 sentences.
I appreciate that.
Wow.
I think maybe I'm made for short stories. Like, what if I just compiled a book of short stories?
I think that would be great. That was so good.
Do you remember the story? Do you know?
I did. It took me a minute,
Yeah, okay.
but I do remember it and know it now.
I thought you might thought the story was about you once I just hearing
I did.
Red Bird's Nest.
I did.
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, I definitely remember that one."
Yeah, different one.
Good pivot there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I couldn't write something like that. Like,
Well,
if you want
okay.
this to be part of the pod, I don't think I could.
So, I didn't. What we both contribute doesn't have to be the same.
Okay.
But I think fans would appreciate hearing not just stories from my own past, but from yours as well. So do you think you're capable of writing down anything?
I can write down something.
See?
It will not be that good.
Well,
that was so good.
Thank you.
I was there with you. Like, I was on the boat.
I had Celia do some proofreading with me because I wrote this 2 nights ago, and felt really productive doing it. And yeah, I mean, it was really surreal. The first paragraph was really easy. Then I had to do some stuff for work, and so I got distracted. So the second paragraph was really hard. And then, because there was a gap, and so I kind of was out of my creative flow. And then the last 3 paragraphs, I just kind of kept going and going. And then, once I knew how I wanted to wrap it up, this is a genuine truth. I'm not making this up for views. I wrote that last paragraph and I teared up a little. Because it's
Yeah.
very real. Like all that stuff,
Yeah.
a lot of that underlying stuff did happen. So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, that got me when you said that, like, I don't know, you were gonna have darker
oh,
time, like
well,
what, some
yeah,
darker
I had, yeah,
days ahead, but
yeah.
it was gonna be okay because you had such
And
great
it was okay.
companions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, if anyone who's listening to this is interested in any of the backstory behind the story, you can always reach out. I'm a very open book, and we'll divulge the secrets of the medievalness of the story.
Nice.
But there were no ravens.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
For a second, I thought the Raven was supposed to be a code word for someone else. Also, I'm curious who the other two people were that were there, but
So it wasn't you.
was I there?
I can't remember to save my life. I
Well,
know it wasn't just the three of us. I know there were other people.
maybe. I mean, that memory is very clear for
So
me, but
what
I just assumed it was because someone told me about it.
as I was
But I
writing the
get,
story, I called Professor Snowflake, who,
yeah,
spoiler alert, is the sage and self-proclaimed wisest
yes,
of the group.
yeah,
Um,
got
yeah.
that.
So I called him and said, "Hey, I'm writing this short story about this. Do you remember who was there?" Because like
Yeah.
he remembered the three of us, the trio, but he didn't know. And the only name we both like were like, I think she was there was Boo, which to
Okay.
me would imply that you were also there, because I remember more than one person being there. But then we start like, so Professor Snowflake didn't remember you being there, so I
Right.
was like, well, maybe it
Well,
wasn't.
it
It
could
could have been
have
someone
been
else.
our yeah, I feel like you guys hung out with
The
I
other
don't have a
astral
co-name.
person. I don't
Astral?
know, like astronomy. I'm trying to come up with code names on the fly.
I was just gonna say the tan one.
Oh, the okay.
Was
Oh,
that
oh.
like
Talking about
because
a
we
different
were
person,
all
but
oh
we are. But yes, I don't
because
think
like
it was
we
her.
were still on good terms at that point.
I guess it could have been.
Rip.
Guess it could have been. Do you know who I meant by astral?
Not at all.
Oh, water up in the sky.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
there we go.
Really?
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, that's irrelevant. But okay, so I did some on the fly editing because I knew you would die laughing if I read this and it would throw me off so bad.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out. It's kind of a waste of a. It feels silly to have us in the story. In real life, obviously, we did go to the restaurant and we met up with
Yeah.
someone, seemingly two people
Unclear.
in our memory. We know there was at least one other person. But so I was like, I need to introduce them in the story. But then I'm like, but I hardly talk about them in the story, so maybe it's not relevant because all you heard was we met up with two people, and then and then the main character in the story, the Oracle, says farewell.
Yeah.
There was a line that I had written because I was like, well, how else do I describe the two people and that they're women? And so I wrote two others from a nearby land had agreed to meet them at the nest, as during the summer months, so little interaction was had between those that did not share the same intimate social circles. Code word for summer break at school. And then, and then the next sentence literally says, "Because I thought it was you and Boo, so I wrote fair were these ladies in both complexion and attitude."
That's funny.
Yeah. So you better hope it's
That's
not
good.
astral, or I better hope not,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's not an apt description at all.
Not accurate.
No. So,
That's
anyways,
so
that's
funny.
a line that I'm considering editing out. But the reason I left it in originally is just because I was like, well, it feels weird to just mention these two characters and then not talk about them at all.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
again, nothing really happened because I
Right.
was gone for most of that that dinner.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe I'll ask Boo and see what she
well,
says.
she should listen to this and
Oh, right.
then
Yeah.
see.
And then she'll get back to you. So, Boo,
Yeah,
please.
Boo, if you made it an hour and 40 minutes in, congratulations.
Oh my God. An hour and 50.
Wow. Sorry, I really wanted to, the short story was long.
The short story was so good, though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Celia really liked it as well.
Super good. Yeah.
But I don't know, writing stories is fun. I think it's a fun medium.
I don't think I've ever written a story in my life.
Okay.
So maybe I'll have to
We're
try
gonna
it.
start.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a calendar thing on one on
Nice.
for to
Yeah.
write a story or something.
I could
I
see
mean, you
that.
write letters.
I do. I really like writing
That could
letters.
be your thing. That could be like I write old timey folk tales almost about events in my life. You could write fake letters like from you now to yourself back at the time of the story you're trying to describe.
Wow, that's fun.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. Oh my God. You could write the actual letter physically, mail it to me, and then we could
Whoa,
read it as if we're getting real mail
that's
on the
cool.
pod.
Yeah, letters aren't cheap though. So,
Well,
just kidding. I actually got a ton of cards for Christmas, like
yeah,
watercolor cards, where I can paint on the front and then mail them.
that's cool.
That would be fun.
That's very
And maybe
cool.
the picture can like have something to do with
Whoa!
the story.
Yes,
That's
this is
fun.
excellent.
That's a good idea.
That's really good. Okay, well, let's wrap up as quickly as possible.
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you all for watching and listening to this whole thing. Really appreciate it. We will catch you hopefully sometime near Valentine's Day. But if we
Yeah.
don't catch you beforehand, have a great Valentine's Day, everyone.
Thanks.
Solely safe travels in your upcoming travels.
Thank you. Heading to Denver.
Woo.
Let Snowflake know.
Favorite airport, favorite
It's
city.
the worst. Hate it. Hate it so much.
But yes, please shoot us an email, mikeandsollypod@gmail.com. AND, not an ampersand. Look forward to seeing a lot of responses to an episode as big as this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please.
Do you think
Lots.
part of the reason why we go long with some of these episodes is because neither of us has to drive home?
It could be.
It could
Yeah.
be.
And
That's
I've already
dangerous.
eaten dinner, so I'm
Right.
not like,
You're like,
yeah.
oh, we
I have nothing else to
log
do.
off. I guess I'll go to bed.
I gotta pack my bag and I really don't want to, so yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining from afar.
was a hoot.
I'll catch you on the flip. And
Hopefully we can chat before too long.
yeah, I'm sure we can chat every day if you really want.
I mean another pod.
Oh, another pod. Okay, sure.
Yeah. Oh.
That sounds good. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I saw a shadow. Did someone just walk into your living room with a guitar?
Oh, the whale, how'd you get over
Whoa.
here?
I mean, we've been
Whoa.
recording for 2 hours. He had plenty of time to drive.
Have a nice long dinner
Yeah.
too.
Wow.
Nice. All right. Well, take it away, whale.
Take it away, whale. Farewell.
Bye.